point I'm trying to make is that we're going to evaluate each person's situation individually, and we're going to try to make a fair, what we think is a fair and reasonable offer based on your individual circumstances. And I don't think that we can just lump everybody together. Yes, sir.
I think you mentioned earlier that if we stand on our own negotiating with Texas Brine without an attorney, anytime during those negotiations, before signing is done on the agreement, we can shut the negotiations down and get an attorney.
Yes, sir. That's absolutely true.
Mr. Myers, will y'all be handling camp owners that want to relocate as well, sell their camps and do that? I know that was a question from some individuals.
We will take those, yeah, I mean, they should, if they want us to consider their claim, they're welcome to come into the office, to the claims office and fill out a form just like people who live there. It's a question of evaluation, really. Yes.
One other statement
Okay.
I wanted to make, in speaking with Governor Jindal this afternoon, I brought this statement up and he was definitely in agreement with it. There is a stigma that has settled over the Bayou Corn area. At this point in time, as you said, the property has no value. That stigma is going to maintain itself for a long period of time, and that property, no matter whether it's cleaned up, pristine, that stigma is still going to be there for a long period of time, and the value of the property will not exist. That's my personal opinion, and Governor Jindal seems to agree with it.
I wasn't there, so I can't, I don't know if you want me to, I'm not going to.
I just wanted Texas Brine to understand that this is happening,
Yeah,
relative to the stigma over that area.
we understand.
Especially when it comes to negotiating for the property.
We understand that you have a claim. We understand that that we need to evaluate those claims, considering the fair market value. And if it comes to the point where we're talking about a diminution of value, whether there's any stigma or not, will be something that the appraiser will take into account, and then you are free to negotiate to
You kind of talk like you're in agreement that you're not sure if it's a stigma or not. Well, I tell you what, just find anyone in this area or in this area of the country and go up to them and say, would you like to buy a lot on Bayou Corn? That stigma's there, guaranteed.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you're talking about if we settle for a dollar fee, why would we want the land back if there's possible environmental concerns on remediation of the soil? And that has to be taken into this too, because if we sell, I don't want it back. I want it over with and it's done.
As I mentioned, we're going to take each individual claimant and evaluate those claims individually. Some people may want their property back. Some people may want to try to move the house. They like the house but don't want to live here. Some people don't want the property. And all those things are things that we will consider in evaluating the individual claims. Let me say this, because I'm sensitive to this, because this is important to the company. If you have evidence of environmental claims that are going to require cleanups, let us know, because every indication is that that's not the case. I mean, we understand that we're flaring off the gas. We believe we have contained the sinkhole, the surface waters. All the samples currently in the surface waters don't show any problem with migration from the actual sinkhole property onto anybody else's property. And what I understand is that all of the air monitoring data that has been gathered by DEQ and contractors who have been retained by Texas Brine have indicated no hits above background levels of any chemical that can cause any harm to humans. So if there is evidence of that, certainly we want you to provide that to Mr. Boudreaux, and he'll pass that along to us and we'll evaluate it. But the evidence so far is that that's not the case. And I just don't want that suggestion that we believe that there is any environmental damage that needs cleanup any further than what we're doing already is accurate. Yes, sir.
Okay. I guess just as a point of information, it takes back to your client, Texas Brine, and I'm sure they're aware of this, but just in case anybody missed it, You know, last year, our property tax assessor reduced our assessment to the tune of 50%. Surely because he felt like our property values had been greatly damaged and diminished. In the last week or two, he announced that next year he's thinking about reducing our property values to the tune of 90%. So I just want you to be aware of that, take that information back. So, I mean, there's little doubt that our property values have been greatly damaged and diminished.
One last question. You want no more questions, maybe? John says no.
Well, no, I received a question, and I just want to ask this again. The question was, assuming evacuation order is lifted soon, how long will Texas Brine be engaged into seeing these claims through?
Until they're resolved. Simple. I mean, we will continue to work with people individually or through their lawyers until their claims are resolved.
And that the concern is that if the evacuation would get lifted, that you may then stop negotiating. I just want to make sure that that question is answered, so you can continue and see this thing through.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Take one more? Okay.
When, is Texas Brine determined when prescription would happen? Would it be August 3rd?
No.
30th or no date?
And even if we did, I'm not going to provide, I mean, that's legal advice that I would give to the company, and I'm just not going to answer that question, but the answer is no. We haven't, I don't think we've made that, haven't looked at it, we've been busy doing other things, and that's certainly something that's not right at the front of our radar right now.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. Are y'all going to be hanging around a little while for claim forms or anything else that they can pick up today from Will?
No, actually, we need, in order for the claim forms.
Well, what's the process for individuals that have not contacted your office, that want to contact your office, and who do they contact?
The easiest, you can do it two ways. You can either, in fact, no, you can contact, I assume everybody has Will Boer's name and phone number. If not, you simply go by the command trailer. If you're receiving a check, you can do that on, I think it's on Thursday when the checks are distributed. You can do it on Thursday, or we have people there on site every day, every work day, Monday through Friday. Simply go there and they'll have the forms that you need to fill out, and they will be able to arrange for the inspection of your property.
Thank you. Will, raise your hand, everybody. This is Will in the back. Most of you probably know him. He's at the command center daily. Any of you want to pick up a claim form or contact him, get contact or appointment information, contact that gentleman. He's the gentleman in the back with his hand up. At this time, also we're going to have Dr. Hecox and Dr. Pettit come forward to talk about the information regarding the Oxy-Gosma #1. As it was stated earlier, we had meetings with the company officials and DNR. It was provided to us, and that's what was brought out last week, that the vertical seismic profiling had identified that there was a potential, the edge of the cavern was potentially closer to the edge of salt than originally predicted. So we called this meeting to give the public the scientific information that we were provided. So they'll have a brief presentation that will open to questions to Dr. Hecox and Dr. Pettit. So hopefully we all have the same understanding regarding the Oxy-Gosma #1. Dr. Hecox.